Okay, now we're going to deferred annuity. Okay, we saw this example before. Basically, we have an annuity with 8 payments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so it can be evaluated in many ways, right? As I said, so if we evaluate it at time 4, then we will get A angle 8. Okay, so that will be evaluated at time 4. But if we want that cash flow at time 0, so the value of that cash flow at time 0, then this is a deferred annuity immediate, because we need to discount it for another 4 years before we get our present value. So this is an 8 years annuity immediate that is deferred by 4 years. So that is a deferred annuity. This same annuity can also be written as follows. Instead of looking at it as an annuity immediate, you can also see it as an annuity due. So annuity due of 8 years is evaluated at time 5. So it will be like this. So since now it's evaluated at time 5, if we want to evaluate it at time 0, we need to present value it. We need to discount it another 5 years. So it can be written as like this. And also, as I said, this cash flow can also be evaluated at time 12. So then you can also discount the amount by 12 years so that you get the value at time 0. And then you also can do S angle 8. So this S double dot angle 8 is evaluated at time 13. So if you want to evaluate at time 0, so you have to do V to the power of 13. Okay, so there's like 4 ways to calculate this. So technically they are all deferred annuity, but usually when we do deferred annuity, when we want to find present value, we will use A angle instead of S angle because it's more straightforward. Okay, there is a special symbol for deferred annuity. We write it as follows. Okay, I think we should write this one as M. Okay, so this one should be M. So V to the power of M, A angle N, we can also write it as M bar A angle N. So when we put bar like this, we are saying that this is deferred by M years, and the annuity itself is N year annuity. So in this example, the illustration that we have here, it will be 4 bar A angle 8. Okay. Alright, now moving on. Shortcut for annuity with block payments. What is block payments? Let's see. Okay, let's see this example of an annuity. It has several blocks of period with level payments. So each block have level payments. So this is the first block. It have 8 level payment of 5. And then the next 7 years, the payment is 12. And then the next another 7 years, the payment is 15. Okay, so there's second block here, and then there's the third block here. Oh, actually there's 4 blocks here. Fourth, first. Okay, so there's 4 blocks. So if you want to calculate it using deferred payment, it's also can, but it will be a bit complicated. So there are shortcuts to this. The long way would be you take the first 8 payment of $5. So this is to get the present value. Okay, so to get the present value for this cash flow with 4 blocks, is we can do it as follows. Let's try to tackle this question in a couple of ways. First, we do it with a deferred payment method. So to do it with a deferred payment method, first we get the first 8 payment. So the first 8 payment is very straightforward. It's just 5 times A angle 8. Okay, and the second payment, the next 7 payment is technically 12 A angle 7, right? However, this 12 A angle 7 is evaluated. When is this 12 A angle 7 is evaluated? At time what? At time 8. Okay, this 12A angle 7, because this is an annuity immediate, the first payment happened 1 years after the evaluation date. So this is the evaluation date. The evaluation date is at time 8. So to bring it at time 0, because we are finding present value, we need to discount it for another 8 years. So for this block, this is basically a deferred annuity. So it's deferred annuity, which we can write it as follows. 12A angle 7 is the annuity, and then we have to discount it for another 8 years because it is deferred for 8 years. Okay, and then the next 7 payments is the payment is 10, so it's also over 7 years. So it's again is A angle 7, but payment is 10. But instead of discounting it for 8 years, now it is evaluated at time 15. So to bring from 15 to 0, we have to discount for another 15 years. So that's why it's B15. And then the next 6 payment is also in the same way. So it's 15 A angle 6, and then we have to discount it for another 22 years. Okay, so this is the long way. This is the deferred annuity way. Okay, this is the deferred annuity way. Okay, there is another way. This is already applying the simpler way to apply the shortcut for block payment. Okay, let me show you the first one. Here the first payment, okay, is straightforward. It's same like just now, 5 times A angle 8. But the next 7 payments, it is done this way. The second payment, we have it from 9 to 12. Okay, so between here to here. So in total, it is 7 payments. So is it until 12? No, it's not until 12, it's until 15, because 8 plus 7 is 15, right? Okay, so it's a 7 payment from the 9th payment to the 15th payment. Okay, so what for the next 7 payment, what it does is it do 12 times A angle 15, so and then you minus A angle 8, so you minus 8, okay, so you're left with this block, right? Okay, so that's this approach. So you minus the previous block, and then for the next payment, you do 10 times A angle 22 minus A angle 15. So you get just the 10. You just get for the last 7 block. So the last 7 payments, so between time 16. So this block will run from time 16 to time 22. So the 15 and below, it will be removed. Here it's removed, right? Okay, so I hope you see this, what's going on here. Okay, and then the next payment will also be the same. So that is a long way. Actually, there is a shorter way. Okay, let's look at another perspective of solving this, but this is still a long way. So the first 8 payments, you just do normally 5 times A angle 8, but the next 7 payments, so the next 7 payment will go from the 9th payment to the 15th payment. So how is it done is you do A angle 15, so you have 15 payments of 1, 15 payments of 12, sorry, 12 until 15, and then you minus the first 8. So when you minus the first 8, you just left with 7 payments. So when you minus, it becomes 0. So then what you get, if you write this, what you get is the same as 12A angle 15 minus A angle 8. It is the same as 12A angle 7 v to the power of 8. So this is actually deferred annuity, same like this one. So there's 2 ways to write it. And then you will continue the same method for the next 2 blocks. So if you then wanna simplify this, you can easily like cut because we will sum everything up, right? So this is a minus, sorry, no, not that one. Yeah, this is a minus, this is a plus, this is a minus, this is a plus, this is a minus, this is a minus, this is a plus. So we can just simplify everything, then you'll get this at the end of the day. Okay, so but this is still a long way because you need to determine separately for all of the 4 blocks. So this is the shortcut. So for the shortcut, how does it work? We are evaluating our cash flow, this complex cash flow with 4 blocks of payments. Now we want to evaluate time 0. So when we want to evaluate time 0, we start at the very end, and then we go nearer. Okay, maybe you don't understand yet what I mean. Let's do the example together. So first we look at the last block. Okay, this is the block that we have. Okay, first block the payment is 5, second block the payment is 12, third block payment is 10, and then the fourth block payment is 15. And then this goes for 8 payments, this goes for 7 payments, this one is another 7 payments, and this one is another 6 payments. Okay, so the total payment here is 28. So for the 28, first we do a level payment of 15. So 15 A28. But now the third block is not 15, it's just 10. So to reduce our payment for the third block to 10, we have to minus 5. So but we minus 5 not just for the third block, we minus 5 for all blocks earlier than all blocks that is before the fourth block. So all block that is before the fourth block, we reduce by 5. So now all of them, the level payment is 10. Okay, so we reduce for all. For all means 22. There's 22 more. Okay, there's 22 more. So 22. And then the second block. The second block is 12, but now we have 10. Now each block is 10, right? 15 minus 5. But now we want to make it to 12. So we come up with a difference. So plus 2. But plus 2 we do just for all of the blocks before the third block. So we do for 15 years. For 15 years you add another 2. So you do A 15. And then we're done with the third block. And now we want to tackle the first block. The first block it's 5. But now all of this block is 12. But we want to reduce it to 5, we need to minus 7. So you minus 7 of all of the block before the second block. So 8 lah. A angle 8. Okay, I hope you can see this. If not, you just pause this video and try to do it yourself. Okay, exercise. Write the present value of the following payments. So we have between time 1 to time 10, the amount is 5. 11 to 18, the amount is 8. 19 to 23, the amount is 12. And 24 to 30, the amount is 20. So we have 4 blocks again. Again, we want to find the present value. Okay, so when we want to find the present value, we will start with the last block, which is the fourth block. So we have 30. So all of it we put 30. Okay, so the first one will be 30 A angle. No, not 30. The amount is the amount for the fourth block is 20. 20 A angle 30. all 30 years, we put level payment of 20. But then the next one will be 12 only, not 20. So we need to minus 8. Okay, but we minus 8 for all blocks before this block. So before this block is 23. So A angle 23. And then now we're done with this one. Now all blocks is actually 12 now. So now all block is 12, but the second block is 8, less than 12. So we need to minus another 4. Minus another 4 to become 8. So when you minus for all blocks before this block. So 18. A angle 18. And then now all of our blocks, all of these blocks is 8. So this one we don't want 8, we want 5. So minus another 3. 4 A angle 10. So this is the answer. Okay. Now we want to find accumulated value. So accumulated value at time 18. AV 18. So as I said, since we want to evaluate at time 18, we want to start with the furthest point. So the furthest point is the at time 0 lah, from the very beginning, and then we go all the way there. So we start with the block, the earliest block, and then we start to move towards the evaluation point. So the first block will be 3, and we want to find accumulated value. So we do 3 S angle 18. So we do it for all. And then next block is not 3 ringgit, it's 8 ringgit. We need to add another 5. So we need to add 5, but we need to add 5 for the block that is after the first block, because the first block is already 3 ringgit, right? So we just add another 5 for the remaining block. So 5 A angle, total is 18, but we don't want to add for 7, so we just need to add 5 for 18 minus 7, 11. So there's 11 more payments after the first block. And then the next block is 5, but now all of us have 8, so we need to minus 3 for the remaining. How many? 18 minus 12. 18 minus 12 is 6. So the remaining 6 payments, we need to minus another 3. Good thing I realized. Not A, okay? S. We want to find S now, because we want to find accumulated value. So that's how we do it for accumulated value. So for accumulated value, we start from the earliest block. For the present value, we start at the latest block. Okay, I hope you get it. If not, you stop this video and try to do these 2 exercises. Make sure you get it before you move on.